What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast. Post-game, Chiefs, Chiefs squeak it out. 23-20 on a last-second field goal. It's a field goal in overtime by Harrison Buckner. And at the end of the game, dude, man, they push him back 5 on a false start from his own lineman, and then they ice him, and he hit 3 in a row.
3 in a row. And that the crazy thing with the one in between, the second one, pulling a little bit left.
A little bit.
Corrected it, bang.
You know what? It's weird to see, and you alluded to it, and we've talked about it. Sean actually has talked about it. Sean and I in the morning that you're going to see this. We're going to see this for the first month. Everybody's going to be sluggish and slow. People are going to be caught out of position. You're going to see guys not playing up to par. But that's what it is when you don't have a preseason. You have an accelerated training camp. But the Chiefs, they didn't look too good, especially against a rookie quarterback who didn't even know he was going to play until game time.
Right. Last minute pull out by Tyrod. Another crazy thing, I think it might have been in the third quarter. Up until that point, Kansas City only had 1 reception by a wide receiver. Everything else was either running back or Travis Kelce.
The Chargers.
That's crazy.
The Chargers' MO today was shut down that outside and make them live underneath. Make them live underneath, and it worked. It worked for a while, but as explosive as the Chiefs are, you could only hold them down for so long. Right. There was mistakes with the Chargers defense late. There was things that kind of went the Chiefs' way, and they ended up squeaking it out in overtime.
Yeah, which is it was very interesting to see the Chargers. But like we talked about that Kansas City line. It was Ingram and Bosa. We talked about that at the end of the first game. Like, those two were huge.
Exactly.
I was a little worried there at the end of the first half. Ingram kind of had a little bit of whatever injury, came back out. Same story. Kansas City adjusted. They adjusted. Chargers played great defense. Like, that very last drive up until when they attempted the field goal, man, great coverage. Like, Holmes took off out to left, and it was like boom, everybody was covered.
It was Kansas City doing one more thing better than San Diego, and that was pretty much it. That was the sum up. But yeah, they made it hard on them. And dare I say it, have we found an Achilles heel?
I think everybody's kind of known that, like, Kansas. This is what was crazy. It was Kansas City's offense that was stymied. It wasn't somebody taking advantage of their defense, which we've talked about. We think may happen later in the year. Right. Because that secondary is not great. But, like, dude, the Chargers played him almost as good as you probably could play him. And, had him till the last 3 seconds and lost on a 58-yarder.
And like I said, you couldn't ask for a better performance. Like, Super Bowl champions, new stadium, you're going against the best. Like, you couldn't ask for a better performance with a team starting a true rookie quarterback in Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert balled out, bro. Balled out. First drive, like you said, first quarterback in his first game in his initial start to rush and throw for a touchdown, and he finished the day 23.
1954.
1954. He finished the day 22 of 33, 311 yards, 9.4 average, a touchdown, a pick, which was a rookie pick, and you said that on the money. Yeah, it was a rookie pick for a 94.4.
And it was Tyrann Mathieu. Like, the guy's a jack of all trades. He's seen it. He's been around. He's the honey badger. There's a reason. Like,
you can't pay. You made a rookie mistake.
He was
moving to his left. He tried to throw back across the field.
Rookie mistake.
If he hits it, yeah, you're good. But you had the guy over the top, and that's a rookie mistake.
It's rookie mistake against great player. Like,
right.
And you can say that lightly with Tyrann, because we know Tyrann's a suspect too at certain things. He's not the old school Tyrann. He can get beat. He has got beat, but like he just hadn't outsmarted. He saw him, read the eyes, saw the throw, and it was a crossbody throw. Not all the heat that he needs on it. But Herbert's going to learn from this. Like, you just literally went up against the Super Bowl champions and held your own.
Mhm.
as an offense. I mean, you threw for 300-something yards.
And
That
that's,
gives you confidence moving forward.
now you got to think about that Kansas City defense. Like, and we, like I said before, it's going to take people a while to get acclimated, in an accelerated season.
Right.
But that defense does not look good. They don't look as fresh or as strong as they did last year,
Or last week.
or last week for that matter.
But that just lets you know where the Texans are at, because the Chargers did pretty well against the rush.
Well, the Texans don't have a rush. They don't have a running game.
No, an offensive line.
No, they don't have an offensive line in Houston. They don't have a running game. So like last week was just
Kansas City looked like the old school.
it was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, I mean, Houston is Houston, whatever. But like Kansas City, like Herbert's got to feel great right now. Yeah, it sucks to lose, but you literally went toe to toe with the Super Bowl champion and got beat with 3 seconds left on the clock. You can't ask for a better game to start your career.
Honestly, that Justin Herbert looks like he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert came out there without knowing that he was going to get the start. Came out there and flourished. 311 yards against the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better from that guy. And Chargers fans, you got to be jacked.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to be pumped for this kid.
I mean, you're talking like no Derwin James. Hunter Henry had a couple miscues, a couple misses. Whatever, but I mean, you still got Keenan Allen, you still got Mike Williams, you got Eckler. Everybody kind of helped that. I feel like they helped him. They didn't make it all Justin Herbert. And I'll tell you what, 100%, this game would have ended completely different had Tyrod Taylor been playing this game.
I think Kansas City gets blown out. I mean, not Kansas. I think the Chargers get blown out.
Right. I do too.
I don't think Tyrod does enough. It was just weird to see Justin Herbert, and I'm not knocking Tyrod because we were just saying. I think Tyrod could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback in a team that's ready to go, right? Yeah. The Chargers are not ready to go. Yeah, Chargers are not ready to go. So to see Justin Herbert accelerate in his first game, in his first start in the NFL, and knowing that, hey man, my time could be right now, depending on what the injury to Tyrod is.
Let it get too big.
Depending on what the injury to Tyrod is, and
right. He didn't let the game be too big. You know what I'm saying? Like he kept himself in. Eckler and them helped out. He got some passes in the flats, short passes, took some shots,
and he could have clammed up.
And he could have
clammed up.
Oh yeah,
he could have clammed up and been like, oh, Mahomes, the Chiefs champions, Andy Reid. He could have saw the lights. And been a deer, but he didn't. And he stirred like one mistake. Honestly, if he completes a pass there instead of throwing a pick on his one interception, I think the Chargers win the game because you're in the red zone. You either get points regardless. You know what I'm saying? You get points regardless. And the kid did everything. I mean, everything but that pick well today. And
I learned I thought the Chargers were going to be something different, and I can tell you this: after 2 weeks, like I'm starting to be like, oh, okay. So now I'm looking at. With Drew Lock going down in the Denver game, unfortunately, because I love Noah Fant. But Noah Fant still got on board, got a touchdown. But now the landscape of that division is, obviously Chiefs up top. Raiders could be tough.
Right.
They're a grind. But now this Chargers team, with what they just showed, wow, man.
Aaron Eckler had 94 yards. I mean, they got a running game even though they lost Melvin Gordon. This team it's looking promising. Let's just say that.
The most impressive thing for me was the coverage. Because even though Mahomes was getting out of the pocket, was running over, he didn't have anywhere to throw. He had to run out of bounds.
He did.
And he did throw a couple, and a couple guys dropped. But for the most part, when he ran out, somebody was there. He was out of bounds. There wasn't these huge, great breakoffs. There wasn't these crazy. The
focus on the outside. The focus on the outside, though, was the key. Yeah. Because you shut down the speed, you shut down that over the top. Now, when Mahomes is improvising, he's looking downfield. There's nobody.
Great man coverage.
There's nobody. He's looking downfield. There's nobody. So now he has to throw it underneath, and a guy has to make a play.
Yeah.
So when a guy has to make a play, you're expecting your defense to make a play too, and that could lead to a turnover if the defense is in position and is disciplined enough to do that. They look like they had the Chiefs' number.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers team looks like I said earlier, beginning of the year, we were like, okay. Chargers, Tyrod Taylor, no Melvin Gordon, blah, blah, blah. No Phillip Rivers.
Right.
Like, probably bottom of the barrel. But
Keenan's probably on his way out.
I'm going to tell you what. You know what? The Chargers may not play anybody else the rest of this year as tough as they play the Chiefs right now.
Right.
But if they play the Chiefs, which they will, they'll play the Chiefs again, and Herbert will have more experience. I'm tuning in for that game.
Oh, I want to watch that.
If they can duplicate this and let him have some more experience, man.
Well, think about the NFC West. Like we know tomorrow, Monday Night Football's Raiders Saints. Monday Night Football, and we talked about the Raiders being going to be a thorn in the Chiefs side.
They're just grinding.
Now we got to talk about the Chiefs being a thorn in the Raiders side. The Broncos just had a couple injuries today, so they're not looking too good. They had an injury to Drew Lock. Their starting quarterback, everybody did. But their starting quarterback goes down, so they're not looking too hot. But as far as the NFC West goes, I mean, I see this team, I see this division being a tight race. I see it being a tight race. And I don't think Kansas City, I think Kansas City's going to have a rude awakening because they're finally going to have a challenge, because it seems like the past couple of years since they had Patrick Mahomes, it's been a cakewalk throughout the NFC West.
Yeah, I mean, and the scary thing that's always been about the Chiefs in the last couple of years is just like the points they generate. But today, they didn't really generate much.
They
know
didn't.
What I'm saying?
They were not.
That's what was like the biggest standout to me. And then obviously, Justin Herbert getting points and moving the ball, and like that was two huge things. And
right.
I mean, there's no Derwin James,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So the secondary was maybe a little leaky. But man, I mean, like if the Chiefs are only mustering this kind of production against some of these tougher teams that they're going to play throughout the year, they've got their work cut out.
They do, and that's only good for the league, because I don't want. I like everybody's thinking, and I'm sure going into the year, everybody's probably still thinking the Chiefs are just going to run amok.
Well,
and you know what? Like good teams, if they're going to be a great team, like a dynasty, like they're talking about, they have to fight through a year where they aren't their best throughout, but they get there and then they get overcome.
Well, wins like this,
that's like the Patriots have done that. Patriots have done that. Good dynasties have done that, where they have their troubles.
They don't play their best, but they still squeak out the game.
And they overcome, and they get better. They get better as the season goes along. But
everybody will.
Yeah.
Everybody will.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. There's another game tonight. It's gonna be Seahawks Patriots. We're actually gonna go ahead and hit the post game of that. Just a recap of the day. It'll be around the end of the game.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little before, depending on what's going on or the outcome, if it's a blowout or not. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it done and get in and out so we can go to bed. But good.
Before we go, thanks everybody that's tuning in. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Share it, all that good stuff. Humidor Podcast.
Yeah, Humidor Sports Podcast. Thank you. Mike Kalitek, thank you. Brandon Suarez, thank you. Josh Ward and Josh Davison, thank you. Like I said, check us out. We're just going to have a recap of the day after the Sunday night game. But for Luke Nettles, I'm Ivan Vargas. This has been the Basement Monsters Podcast. Thank you for another week 2 down in the books. Oh, almost. We got tomorrow on Monday Night Football.
We're going to see him tomorrow?
We'll see what's going on. We'll try to get out we'll try to hit Monday Night Football as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But like I said, thanks again. We'll get to you guys after the night game. We'll see y'all later. Deuces.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.